Sometimes you get away with it.
Sometimes
you don't.
And every time you don't, it sucks for the rest of us.
Yeah. Nipples are cool.
What's happening on some current shit, Bo?
With
Australia.
What's news?
What do you? It was just Australia Day. Did you do you support that or what?
No, I agree that it's a pretty fucked up thing to celebrate.
But
Because you're celebrating the displacement of a whole person. I worked. I work in a bar. Public holidays and like any national holiday, it just means I have a busier day at work.
Go to work. Yeah, I hear you, man. You got to get that hustle on.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. But so I work in Newtown, and that's a very progressive area of Sydney, and it was a fucking ghost town, man.
Really?
Yeah, it was like during the day. Actually, overall, the whole day was really dead. But like in the day when all the marches were on in the city, I swear, like everyone in the Newtown Marrickville area was at that march. They were strolling across the road. There wasn't even cars on King Street. Like,
if there's any march, anyone from Newtown will be there.
it's good. I like it. I think it shows that, you know, that's the demographic. It's a very, it's a young, progressive demographic in that area, and it's necessary because you got to have both.
I reckon they're getting too left though.
No, but you got to have it because, and I think it's because the right's getting too right.
But I don't feel like the right is getting too right. I feel like the left is just getting too left.
There's examples of both.
This is true.
Like you've got like people throwing legit neo-Nazi rallies, and then you've got people who, you know, are getting too caught up on certain things. I agree too. Like I would say I'm more left than right for sure, but I definitely don't agree with everything left, and I don't not agree with everything right.
Like, controversial nationalist group has established a clubhouse in Sydney's inner west with local residents starting a protest movement and a state... Oh, I can't read that side.
And a state MP calling for police to probe the group.
Does that say "and"? Yeah. What? So what? Is this a Nazi party? What?
More or less.
Are we getting? Maybe I was completely incorrect. Maybe the right is getting way right, and there's
always extremes of both, and then everything up into the middle, in between. You'll find someone who's pretty much at every point along there. You know what I mean?
How don't I know about this? Like, I don't know about rallies that go on. I don't know
about. It's good that I know about it.
Any of this shit.
Look at them working out. Go up. All right, boys, got to get nice and fit so we can go bash some minorities.
How's that guy with his hand in his pocket to the left?
Look, the thing is, like, they always say, like, no, it's just innocent. We're not doing, like, anything bad. But, you know, you need your faces to be blurred. Come down and meet the lads. The Lads Society. Oh, yeah, I saw this.
No, I think this is like a news report. They don't have permission to use their face.
Yeah, true.
What? So how did did the whole thing go past Newtown or not? The protest against...
What? No. It was in Hyde Park. Like, it was a rally. It wasn't like a march down the street or anything. It was just a big rally, I guess.
So this whole day, okay, so I don't follow it that much. And so is it just that when Captain Cook came to Australia from the UK and colonised Australia, is that January 26th that he did that? And then is that the celebration of Australia Day? And is that the whole thing?
Let's not show how much I don't know about the history of my country. No, I don't know if it was exactly the day that he arrived. I don't think it actually was.
No, Bo would know
when he first arrived, it was...
The anniversary of the 1788 arrival of the first fleet.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Port Jackson. Yeah, right. So not when he got to... what's it called? Botany Bay.
So what is when he got where then?
It's just commemorating when they arrived. But when they arrived, they were basically just like rocked up. The Aboriginal people were there, and they were like, "Oh, but you don't have any fences or buildings up, so you don't actually live here. This is ours now."
No. I get all of that, but I'm talking about specifically January 26th, the date that everyone wants to move. Why is it that?
Well,
date
there's
that they
different
wanna
tiers of
move?
it. So there's people that are like, change the date. We don't want to celebrate this day and blah, 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 blah. There's other people that are like, changing the date is just white people feeling guilty and this is what is going to make them feel better, but it doesn't actually help anything. So like there's almost like different levels of standing that like people on the same side are on, like some people are like, we should do this. And then other people are like, well, that's not enough. We need to do more. But I think the overall thing is just like,
January 26th was when it was colonized. Is that
Yeah.
right, Bo?
yeah.
So 26 is not exactly when he got here, but when he said, this is UK soil.
I do sometimes feel like it distracts from the real problem is that like the government isn't putting enough effort and money into helping the indigenous communities that are in Australia.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, there's massive discussion about changing the dates happening when there's people out there that need genuine help and aren't getting it. Like, when they...
Well, there's like there's villages and towns that literally their power got cut out, right?
Yeah, that was during when Abbott was Prime Minister, and they pretty much said like, all of you people who are living out here, we're not going to keep supplying you energy and power and stuff, even though they could pay for it out of their own pockets
Yeah.
and afford it and still have enough money to live like rich assholes.
So is it because it's costing the economy money and then that they need to take that away or to do something like that or no?
Yeah, they basically just don't want to pay for it because they're like, well, you're not helping us and we're helping you. But then it's like, well, everyone would be fine if you didn't come and like rip their homes from them and, like basically force them into a westernized way of living, which is the main problem. And then introducing drugs and alcohol to a community of people that haven't had drugs and alcohol. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, the people who came over, they've got hundreds of years of like drinking alcohol and, smashing gin and drinking beer and stuff. So for them, it's all right. But imagine like being the first of your genetic evolution to start drinking alcohol. It's going to fuck you up.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And that's why like instantly there was just big alcohol problems ravaging through all these communities like straight away.
100%. But I don't like, so why don't we change it? Like, do you know the best thing that I liked out of this entire thing? Not that I follow it much, but I should check it out even more and support whatever is the right thing. But I love changing the date to May 8th.
Yeah, mate.
That, like, to me, that just seems like an amazing thing to do. It's Australia. We say mate, like, mate is our sort of thing. I don't care what the UKians say. What do you call people from the UK?
English.
Just English people say. I love how they just take the language. Like, we're called English. That's what we're called.
English people.
But yeah, so I don't care what they say, but yeah, we can call them POMs, I guess. They used to call it, fun fact, they used to call Australians POMs, right? Prisoner of Your Majesty. And we used to be a jail for where they sent all their criminals. So you wonder why Australia is so fucked up? Should really ask the UK.
I want to know how the accent developed.
How we
You know what they reckon? They reckon it's from the excessive drinking. There's a theory out there that's like the reason that we have such like a lazy, drawling accent is because the ancestors used to drink so much and it was just that like drunken like, and that's how it sort of slowly like.
the ancestors are pretty much all criminals.
Yeah.
Like,
But they would have
let's
come
stop
over
for
here
a second
but
and just
they would have
realize
come
that
over here.
Australia was made from criminals.
They would have come over here with English accents though, and then it slowly developed into this.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. So they were criminals, so they could have drunk a lot, and we sort of got this twangy.
How many
weird
generations do you
accent.
reckon it took?
Ooh.
Like, how crazy is it that you can take, like, it's not like they're still drinking a lot in England, but then accent's not changing. But you take a bunch of them, put them in a different part
Of the world.
and it changes
Yeah.
completely. Even though there's just another group of the same people in England, but the accent doesn't change.
Do you know what I reckon?
What?
I reckon it's a white thing.
You reckon?
Do you know why? Because, like, white people have this thing of going to other places, right? And whatever accent the other person has, they try and mimic it. So if they
Or even
because
if they
they
don't
think
try,
that
they just
can't
develop it.
Yeah, they can't understand it. So maybe they were teaching the Aboriginal people English, and the way Aboriginal people started responding when the Australians couldn't get the right response, they'll speak it in their accent. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Maybe.
So if like an Asian person is doing an Asian accent, like, give me
Yeah, like people,
this.
like, you know, when when people start, you know, they'll go over and spend like half a year in America and they'll come back with like an American accent.
Yeah. Those people fucking piss me off.
How dare you do a thing that doesn't affect me?
At all.
You piece of shit.
But yeah, I reckon we should just change the date to mate. That's what I reckon. And everyone for that
hate
day
holidays.
calls each other mate.
I hate holidays. I hate all holidays.
Mate, you're the devil.